everyone. I'm literally just going to jump straight into this video just because I wanted to make a nice short and easy one, just because so many people are requesting it and I sort of just want to get over and done with and finally get it out there. But today I'm actually going to show you how I do my brows. I never used to do my brows like this. They always used to be quite blocky, just because you can see I've got very straight. They actually used to be a lot more sparser than this, but they have grown a lot. Oh, ignore my nails, they're absolutely rank. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking about my fluffy brow. So here it is, finally the tutorial for it. If you'd like to know how to do this brow, then keep on watching. So the first product I'm actually going to go in with is the Urban Decay Subversion Lash Primer. Like I said, this is an eyelash primer, but it's actually so good for sticking up my hairs. I have used other products like, where is it? Clink, clunk, clink. I've got to try and find it. There was the one. Where's the other? I have used the brow finish from Urban Decay as well, but I just don't know. Like, this just holds my brows so much better. So how I do it basically is obviously a nice clean brow. Like I said, you can see the difference massively, as you can see how straight my brows are. And when I use, like I said, when I've used other brow gels, they just over time will naturally just go back down. They won't stick up as they are now. So like I said, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Subversion, and I'm literally just going to brush it through. So obviously the front, I'm going to brush it, oh, what have I got here? I think there's a hair in it, yeah. I'm just going to brush it straight upwards in the front, and then sort of like when it gets to my tail in the middle, I'm going to take it to a slant. Just brush it through, just so I got a nice amount of product on there. This lash primer is white, so obviously the next step I'll show you how to get rid of it, so don't be too scared about the colour payoff on the primer. I have actually ordered the Revolution soap styler, so I'm going to see how that goes as well, because I've never liked soap as well. I just couldn't get the white out of my brows. So I'm just going to take any sort of end of a brush. I'm just taking my Zoeva, this is my eyebrow brush, so it's nice and handy when I do all of this, but I'm literally then just going to, hope you can see this as well, just literally press it on my skin. Oh, I need to fix that a little bit there. Like I said, what's nice about this is that I feel like if it's not straight enough, just grab the lash primer again. Try and straighten them up. And then, like I said, press again. I don't really care about the ends being super clean or sharp. It's the front bit, because if I get the front bit wrong, it really determines my shape. So sometimes I can go really too arched on my brow, which I don't like. So yeah, that is literally like pressed into my skin now, and it gives this really nice brow lamination effect. And then the next product I go in with is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This has been an absolute saver for me. This is probably the best product I've ever used on my eyes. One side has a pencil, a waterproof pencil, and the other side has a ink stain, but it's like in a felt form. So really great for brushing on brow hairs, which is what I used to struggle with, because my hairs, even though I haven't got a lot, they're very dense and together, so I could never feel like I get those perfect lines. So I use the shade Cafe Kitty in this. It's actually a little bit too cool tone, the pencil is anyway, but the ink stain part is perfect, which is really weird because I'm ginger snap in the double, I always get this wrong, double down brow, but in the brow blade it's too dark. It like oxidizes on my eyebrow, whereas this colour doesn't. So I hope you can see this really good. So how I do it then, as you can see, I have a lot of hairs missing here on my brow. They never ever grow. They do like little bits here, but to be honest with you, I don't like them there anyway. I like to carve out a little bit more, but I will place my brow strokes there. You'll understand what I mean in a second. So how I basically started off first is, what's really nice about this is that I'm not very careful with it. I mean, like if you were going for a proper neat feather brow, then have a bit more of a steadier hand. So I'm literally gonna point it downwards, and I'm literally Just gonna add in some hair strokes. Like I said, I'm gonna cut this away, okay? So don't feel like it's all up and down for a reason. It's I'll carve it out. And I will just follow the direction downwards of my brow. And yeah, I'll just create loads of hair strokes. I hope you saw any of that. Then when it gets to like the front part here, I will literally then, I'm going to try and hold my mirror in the front. Oh, I'm going a bit dark. I'll just sort of just follow basically where every other brow here is. Like I said, you can see I'm not even doing this really neatly, I'm just chucking it on. So I'm going to do a little bit more on the bottom here. So I don't care if that's really messy or not. Like I said, I don't care about this being messy because I obviously go over it with other products, so it sort of blanks it out anyway. Then it gets to my arch part by here. I literally, like I said, just do the same thing. I will just follow where my hairs go. And of course, if you are someone that has really sparse brows, it's really good to do the brow, oh, what do you call it? Map, that's it, brow map. So your brow hair should start here from the edge of your nose upwards. Then you stay there in the edge of your nose to the middle of your eye is where your brow arch is. And then to the corner of your eye is where your eye finishes. As you can see, mine don't. But, I mean, if you look at my brows, if they're any further apart, it just wouldn't go. So sometimes just go naturally with however your brow hairs go. I hope I explained that well. Probably not. So I'm literally just going to fill up a little bit here, where I just have that little bit more sparseness. I don't really have much of an arch. Then when it gets to this bit, I'm literally going to do, I'm not even going to change direction, which I know a lot of people do. The problem is with this brow, I have freckles, so it's like, I feel like I've gone too far and I'm like trying to wipe it away and actually it's my actual freckles, so it's really frustrating. Same with my lips, I do have freckles on my lips, so I always feel like I've accidentally overlined in a bit and I'm trying to wipe it away, then I'm like, oh, it's just a freckle. So in the same direction, I'm literally just going to add a little bit more thickness here. Oh, I went really down then, sorry. Can't help it when I do my brows. But I don't go crazy with it because, like I said, I'm going to add another product. So, I do feel like I overstepped here a little bit. So that was just a flat domed brush with a bit of concealer on, which I'll use in a second. But that was irritating me, so I can't help that. Cool. So the brush I use to flatten them down, which is the Zoeva, what's it called? It's just winged liner brush, isn't it? Yeah, winged liner 317 brush. This brush is amazing because it's really, really nice and thin. Even though I don't actually use it to create the hair strokes, I would really recommend this. And I'm actually going to take an Avon Brow Gel. Surprising, because you have 5. It's the best brow gel I've personally used for my hair colour. It is a nice brow gel. I feel like it has dried quickly, but it's actually better when it's drier when you're doing this sort of brow because you don't want to use a lot of product. I mean, like I've bought from like loads of cheaper brands like Revolution Pro. I've bought from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And they put Auburn and it's like literally black on my eyebrows. I just don't feel like there's a humongous range for redheads at the moment. I don't know, it's like, it's weird because people assume redhead as it's red, and I'm like, no, it needs to be a mixture of red and brown. not either brown or red. I feel like a lot of people can't get that mixture right, but hey. So I'm literally going to use, as you can see, the smallest amount. I'm barely tapping it in, and I'll even wipe it on the side anyway. So I'm literally just going to quickly carve out, so I'm going to use the brush like this, a line underneath. And as you can see, I'm not actually drawing it on, I'm pressing it and just gradually going. I'm just going to follow the way around that I actually put all those hair strokes. And I normally press a little bit more further down when I get to the tail of my brow. Okay, so now that I've got that line underneath, take a little bit more product. Same again, I'm then going to use the brush exactly like this. So I haven't even used it like that yet. I'm going to use it like this. And I'm literally just going to press it from the bottom. Literally a bit back and forth. You can see it's building up nicely, so it's not really harsh at all. And if I do feel like I want a little bit more flicker, is that when I do put the brush like this then. And I'll just flick that up as well. So I'm focusing more the product at the bottom because I don't want it to be too full at the top, so I still want to see the brush hairs. Brush hairs, well, brush hair, yeah, and brow hairs obviously. Grab a bit more. I do go to the top a little bit, but it's like with very minimal pressure and product. This has been an absolute lifesaver for me. I've never ever been able to do my brows like this. Never. I used to pluck my eyebrows and I'll never ever do it again. Never. My eyebrows used to be so thin. Honestly, what was I doing? I mean, literally just look back from my Instagram, it's terrible. Anyone else cringe at their Instagram and just be like, what was I'd be like, oh, look at this makeup look I've done, and it was just shit and so over filtered and edited. So when I get to the tail here, I'm literally going to do the same. I'm just pressing it on. Literally, that's it. Pressing it on with a bit of pressure. Getting the brow I want. I've gone a bit over the top here, but I normally do that. Oh, how's that over the top here? Here, but I normally do that anyway. So I'm just going to grab the concealer brush again. Just faint it out a little bit. I never carve out the top of my brows. I can't. It's wizard magic to me if you can carve out the top of your brows without messing your whole entire brow up. I salute anyone. So if by then, I'll sometimes look at my brows still and go, I still want a bit more hair effect. So I'll literally just go back in again and create a few more hairs. Just gives that really luscious, like 3D effect. Then I'm going to take a concealer and I'm just going to use the Urban Decay Naked Skin one. You could use any concealer, but I like to use this because it's nice and liquidy. Even though that could be a disadvantage, I like it just because it's a lot more smooth and it doesn't dry really quick. So you don't have to keep on putting more and more product if you're being really slow at it, basically. So I'll just chuck a load of this underneath, just so I have a lot of product there. It's not that I use all of it, but it's like if I do dry up and I am using it, I'll just dip back into that bit. And then I'm taking my flat concealer brush. This is the Morphe S30 brush. And I'm literally just going to start carving out my brows. So just go a bit at a time. Don't go straight into it like up here if you were, you know, doing it from the beginning. I normally actually cut underneath, so I will go over my normal brow hairs. But it's just because I'm too afraid to actually do it myself in case I overstep it, because it's taken me so long to grow these hairs that I have now that I won't actually do it. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just put concealer over it, it's fine. So as you can see, even when I filled that out, it's too much of a straight brow, it's too thick, but it's just easier for me to place it. So I'm going to really carve in an arch here now. This is actually quite difficult for me because I normally do this brow first, and I match this one to that one. I know people say that your brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins, but I like them to be pretty identical if I can. I'm really going to sharpen it out on the end. I feel I can go a bit more here. And then even when I look at that, I know I need a little bit more thicker on the outer part here. So I'm going to go back in with the brow blade. And just make it a little bit thicker there. And here. Ooh. I'll do. If I keep on going, I'll be here forever. Then I'm just going to blend out with a fluffy domed crease brush. I don't actually blend this all the way over my lid because I don't actually use concealer for my eye base. And I think I'll explain that in another video why. Yeah, that's how I do my brows. I'm going to do a makeup look and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like completed all together because this looks silly. See you in a moment. Well, I completely forgot to do an outro for this video, so I'm just going to quickly do it on my phone holding it. I have just filmed this look, so you'll see this look very soon. Yeah, and that's what my brows look like with everything put on. My voice is going. So yeah, really nice. Really nice fluffy feathery brows. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye!